All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out here so everybody can join in. 1 second. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So everybody can join in. 1 second. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. It was an interesting one. It was pretty choppy, but we'll take a look at that in a minute here. Today we're going to be continuing our conversation on day trading the close. And today we're going to be talking about the MOC. So that's going to be an interesting one. Before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off with the market today. And then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what they're up to tonight to see what we might have in store for tomorrow morning. And then we're going to go over the topic and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started here. So the SPX, okay, so up 23 points today, green month so far. So still pushing up. Look at that, fourth green month in a row. This is the last week of the month. We got a big week ahead, guys. We touched the open gap here above, and put an upper shadow last week. We're still in the range of that candle, so that's a little bit blah. And this candle right here was in the range of this candle right here, so it's a little bit, kind of blah. But there's bears hiding out in that gap up there, it seems. So let's see what they have in store for this week. It's a big week, right? So the Fed, right, FOMC meeting is on Wednesday. Right, and then we also have Apple earnings after that, Amazon earnings, right, Google earnings. It's gonna be a pretty wild week this week. So, but so far they're starting out with some choppiness, right? So then they might be doing that until after the Fed, and maybe even until Apple earnings. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Friday will be the only big day. We'll see how it goes. Daily chart, right? We had a nice little spinning top here. We pulled back to the upward trend line from the Corona crash low. And look at that reversal. Look at that. We're almost at all-time highs, right? So pushed a little bit below the trend line, so I put a small trend box right here. We drifted above it today and held the ADMA on that one. So, we're basically back in the trend box, right? We're over the trend line, so that's good. So let's see if they can continue to work its way up and get over these levels right here. We'll shift the trend line over and then see if we can fill this gap finally. So we'll see how that plays out going into the rest of the week through the Fed. They could really, depending on what they say, they could flush that thing too if they wanted to. See if we get to the cloud, right? And of course, we got those open gaps below too. I don't think, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes this week. Very, very interesting stuff, right? So let's take a look at the price action here intraday. So the 15-minute chart, you can see how choppy it was today. We did get above the 15 orb. Right, we actually gapped up this morning, which was pretty cool, but we started to flush really early, right? So it's kind of like, a little bit of this sentiment right here that we had a couple of these big down moves. It started to kind of weigh in a little bit today. And, got a little bit interesting here at the open, but they bought the dip here after filling that closing gap right there and came right up off of it, right? So back with the ADMA, gave a nice push at the open to the upside, huge reversal off of that move, right? Came back down to the 15 orb high, big lower shadow right there, and then just drifted its way up. A little choppiness here at the end of the day, and then finished up positive on the day. So that's always a good thing. Let's take a look. These are the levels that we provide to remember before each market opens, so you can see here how important they are, right? So, we filled the gap right here. We worked our way up, strong candle here above these levels, got to the next level, got to the next level, chop, 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 chop. Oh, looked like it was going to try to go up a little bit farther, and then left with a bunch of upper shadows right here, back down. Then lower shadow here, back to the next level, test the levels, back up. Right, so pretty cool stuff there on the SPX. So let's take a look at the S&P futures and see how they're behaving this evening. So continuing to drift up over these moves right here. So, I have to go back and double check here, but we didn't have a signal zone today. These are the levels that we provide on our futures, right? So these cool signal zones right here. These are areas of, they're basically supply-demand zones. And so what we found here is we found a couple bounces off of those signal zones too. A little bit of a slow drift here to this signal zone. Now we're drifting up again after hours. We're kind of holding these levels right here. We got above that signal zone here tonight. And let's see how they hold. See if they can stay above it here for the rest of the evening. So let's get a couple trend lines on here, a couple geometric lines. There's your trend line, right? Let's get another geometric line right here and see where they take this in tomorrow. But so far, bullish still proven otherwise on the ES tonight, right? So we're coming into basically a drop zone right here. Here's kind of your drop-based drop area. So we'll see how that holds. We're actually finding a little bit of resistance off that area right now. So let's see if we can continue to hold that trend line above. Otherwise, we got some congestion zones here and here, and we'll see how those hold going into tomorrow. So again, bullish still proven otherwise, and we'll see what they have to prove tonight. So it could be an interesting one, and definitely looking to an interesting week here this week. So good stuff. All right, well, let's continue the topic here. So this week we're going to be talking about day trading. We're talking about day trading the close. Yesterday we did we talked about those trend lines on the 1 minute chart. I got some comments on that. I was like, oh, that was crazy. So they are, right? So the close can be really, really fast. Today happened to be one of those closes that wasn't really fast. And a lot of it has to do with this, the MOC. Perhaps you guys have heard of this before. It's the market on close. Okay, so what is the market on close? So the market on close, right, is the okay. So it's the non-limit market orders that traders execute as it's nearing the closing prices they can. Okay, so basically the New York Stock Exchange traders have to submit an MOC order by 3:45, and the Nasdaq they have to submit it in by 3:50. That's why at 3:50 a lot of times you start to see some big moves in the market, right? And so big institutions have to report this stuff too. Okay, and so what it is basically their order, right? So MOC orders, market and close, are not available in all markets, but it's the last available price of the trading day, right? So it basically tells you at the end of the day, it's a market order that's scheduled trade at the close. That's why a lot of times, let's go and take a look here. Let's go to the SPY, or let's just take a look at the SPY because that's what we've been looking at right here. That's why at the end of the day you get these huge big spikes in volume, right? So those are your market orders on the close. That's a big deal, but they have to announce what those are, right? But at 3:50 and 3:45 for the Nasdaq and the New York Stock Exchange, right? So they remain dormant until they close. So basically, what happens is at that point is that that can give some really big sentiment into what big money is doing. And traders, right, retail traders like us, right, we like to try to take advantage of that. If we know that there's a big market on close order that's on the buy side or on the sell side, we can take advantage of that. We could potentially even swing it in the direction of that if it's big enough, right? So that's a really important thing. So how do we find out what the market on close is? Well, there's some news, right? There's some news feeds that put that stuff out there, but you can also get it free through Thinkorswim. So let's take a look here. Okay, and I'm going to pull it up here. It's a gadget that you pull up. So let me get that pulled up here. Give me 1 second. Here, and you go here. Okay, so give me 1 second. Trade Flash. Okay, so let me get this pulled up here for you guys. Let me get that loaded up here. Add source. Let me see if I can find it. I got so many charts and stuff up here. Give me 1 second. So this is the Thinkorswim. Trade Flash. Here we go. So here it is. So hopefully you guys can see that coming through right here. So this is the Trade Flash. Okay, you guys can find that in your gadget area in the at the bottom of Thinkorswim. Okay, so Trade Flash announces some pretty cool stuff, right? So this intraday. I mean, you can use it just to kind of see like what kind of big orders are going through today, right? They tell you if there's big deltas. They tell you like big names that are up. Right, so they tell you stuff, all sorts of cool stuff like that. But if you kind of scroll down, they tell you big delta trades, and here we go. So here's the MOC right here at 1554. Okay, so it took it a minute to accumulate it all and print it, but $250 million on the sell side on the MOC. Okay, so that means that there's a majority of sell orders, or that the average orders outweighed the sell orders outweighed the buy orders. So most people were selling into the close today. Does that mean they're shorting? Not necessarily, right? So it doesn't mean we're necessarily going to go down. It could mean that they're taking profit, right? So $250 million on the sell side, right? So that usually, if you keep an eye on these trade flash here, you can see that at the end of the day, right? And what it does is it gives you a really good clue into what the overall market sentiment is, right? I don't think you can go back to, it starts at the beginning of the day. So, but you get other cool stuff in here too, right? It tells you, it gives you a little bit of news up here, some percentages, things like that. So look for those MOCs at the end of the day. And, what happened here? So I got that there. There we go. Okay, so look for those MOCs at the end of the day. And what we look for typically is a really big one, right? So those little $250 million seems like a lot of money, but it's really not, when sometimes the MOCs are in the billions. Okay, so not too long ago, there was a decent strong day. Let's pull it up here. There was a decent strong day in the market, and I think it was within like 10 days. We had a really big day, and let's see, I think it was this day right here. Yeah. I believe it was this day right here. I think on the 20th we had like an MOC of like $4 billion. This is one of those days when we were going through our trend lines where it was just bullish all day. It was something like $4 billion in the next day. So really, really strong stuff, right? So when you see stuff like that, right, you see that there's big money that's pushing up really strong into the end of the day. Actually, I think it was this day because it did continue to drift up after hours. I think it was here on the 14th. So I think it was like $4 billion a day. We had a strong close, and then the MOC was huge too, and then we gapped up, and then it just got a little bit blah into the into the day. So so what we look for is when we see that, that can help us find setups, right? So if we know institutions, or if it comes out at like 350, a lot of times you'll start to see market spikes at around that time. Right, so if you go to the chart, so keep an eye on that and your trade flash screen. So right around here, right around 350-ish, right, we got a big spike in the market, right? So sometimes we can trade those, right? This is the 5-minute chart. If you go to the 1-minute chart, right, you'll see that, you get boom, 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 like a little bit of a faster move right there. You can kind of see it amping up into it. Sometimes that news comes out a little bit earlier, right? That 345 time frame, sort of into this area right here, right? And you can get a nice move off of that. You can see that bullish sentiment right there. And then, right, on $4 billion, right, into the close, billion with a B, right? So it ended up gapping up the next day, and being a nice overnight opportunity on that one, right? And then of course we lost it. We used our regular techniques and traded that. So, but pretty cool stuff, guys. So keep an eye on the MOC. It helps give some clues. It's not a guarantee that if we have a big one that we're going to go up, but if the market is strong, if the chart is strong, right? If you go back to the 14th here on the daily chart, right? So right here, right, we had a strong day, right? So we came back down. We pulled back, we tested the upper trend line right here, we had a nice bounce off of it, we got a nice gap up the next day, and we've actually drifted up pretty decently since then, and then just a little bit of pullback here recently. So we had a little bit on the sell side today, but like I said, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily shorting it into the close. It might just mean they're covering, closing some positions and stuff like that too. So just selling their positions going into the close here today. So $4 billion is one to take notice of. $250 million, and if it's in the millions, it's kind of like nah. Multiple billions of dollars is definitely one to take note of. And then you take advantage of that at the close, right? You use that to help add sentiment, and then look to see if the chart makes sense to do a swing. So anyway, good stuff, guys. I hope you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to play those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can, try to wrap up as early as possible, and get a good night's sleep so we can all have an awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. The Nest, early bird, what's going on? All right, let's take a look here. Let's go to the daily chart and see what we got. So we've got Etsy. All right. Well, finally, software names give it a little pullback right here. Nice Morningstar reversal, guys. You gotta like. We saw a lot of these Morningstar type reversals set up here. That is where the real body gapped down below the prior real body's candle, and then we closed above 50% on a green candle today, right the next day. Morningstar reversal is a three-candle pattern. Okay, some people say like, oh, this is the Morningstar here. No, the whole pattern is the Morningstar reversal pattern, right? So we ended up bouncing up, giving us a geometrical error here. Good volume today, so let's see if Etsy can get a nice move up there for you on that one. FSLY, the forever bullish name, is still chopping around at the bottom of the trend box. Let's see how it holds right there. Roku. We are tracking Roku like a hawk, and so this is a rough chart right here. Let me see if I can get you a better one. We make some interesting charts here. Let's see, 94. Okay, so it looks like it's bull flagging, right? So there's your level right there. So let's see. We had a decent day today, a little bit of volume. We got earnings coming up a couple weeks, and we just want to see if we can get some volume above here with a strong close, and maybe catch a little bit of an earnings run on Roku Million. So we'll see how that goes there. Sedge, let's take a look at that one. So Sedge, yeah, nice one there too. Nice Morningstar reversal, close at the highest top of its trend box right there. I'm liking it. That was a great find the other day. And then W. Not quite a Morningstar reversal because real body wasn't over it, but this thing's still working its way up. I guess they kind of weaseled their way out of the last scandal that was going on there. ANTM. Yeah, nasty pullback right there, guys. So still within the context of this bigger bear flag, right? So, and earnings coming up pretty soon there, but nasty pullback on that one. Microsoft on the 4-hour looks amazing, following the same pattern from weeks ago. Let's take a look. Yeah, it tends to, right? So so it's like up, down, up, right? Yeah, so up, down, up, right? Yeah. So looking good. And what else? And then pins. Let's take a look. Anyway, Microsoft, nice bounce off of the trend box low. Inside day on pins with low volume. That's a little bit of a tricky one right there. PD. See how it breaks out on those levels. PD, nice bounce there, right? So the other one was a hammer off the cloud low. This one's kind of tag the cloud low again and push above that little mini bull flag. So let's see if that gets any more follow through on that one. But nice move today. Good volume. And then CDLX, inside day today, low volume. So just kind of see if we can get over those highs, right? Maybe we'll get its way out of the cloud. DAO. Yeah, a little Dow going on there. So interesting. So upper shadow, big volume, kind of just choppy sloppy right there, and and then Baba. Yeah. So the K web was pretty strong today. So a lot of these Chinese names were pretty good today. Decent move up there with volume. A little bit of an upper shadow at the close. LVGO still hanging in there. So it gave you that big upper shadow the other day, right, where it hit the all-time highs, kind of came back in. At least it's on the 8-day right now. And then ZEK, what's going on? Good evening, CN. Yeah, wow. So CN had a good breakout candle yesterday and nice follow through today. So you gotta love it. Yeah. So that was a good one right there. Great volume on that one, and then just got the gap and go here today. I would like to have seen a gap above these levels, but it gapped above the prior day's close, and they just kept on buying it. PM. Doing pretty good right here. I think Altria reports tomorrow, so just watch out. That might move in sympathy with it. You got the 200-day right above it. WPM. Another PM, right? So spinning top off of that one. Possible doji sandwich on gold on the precious metals. So yeah, the metals have been wild. It's like the metals are like I want to say the new Fang, but Fang's been behaving ridiculous right here. And then Southern Copper. Goodness gracious, look at this one. So that is above these pivot levels right here. That is a strong close on this one here. Is that one trade at all with options? Options, not a lot of volume on it, but we got 2,000 calls today on the 47 call, so that looks interesting on that one. Yes, keep an eye on Southern Copper. That's looking pretty interesting. Copper's starting to get hot. Good stuff. And then the Nest OLED. Yeah, left without you. I know. I'm sorry. But it gave you a big, great breakout candle, and just because you missed that candle doesn't mean there won't be future setups on it, right? So OLED's looking pretty interesting right here. I like how it broke above the 200-day. So let's see what it does. Let's see if it gives a pause candle on that one, and which way it goes. This one is a tricky one to trade with options, but I'm glad it did make that. It made that move, quick momentum move, out of the geometric line right there. So let me add that to the bullish radar for tomorrow. It's a tough one. This is one I don't particularly like to trade, but we definitely should track it. So let's see how that goes into tomorrow. So got that there, and what else? Ooh, yeah, we got a couple of Pfizer, McDonald's, and Triple M reporting tomorrow. That's going to be interesting. So we'll see how those play out. Cool. Good stuff. Yeah, I know. Sorry. I had such a sad face. VRTX. Let's take a look. VRTX, yeah, decent move over there, 50-day. Let's see if we can get and stay above it. And then, I know, confused why BA and ANTM fell. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, maybe they're moving it down a little bit for, like, some surprise earnings or something like that. I mean, technically it just moved. Why? I mean, who knows? It was just chopping for a while. But, it gave a couple nasty breakdown candles today. We looked at it. It was pretty bearish at the open. Give 100% pullback right here, but it was also 61.8 retracement this morning from the pre-market highs. Once it retagged those levels, then it was just like downhill from there for the rest of the day. So, just to kind of show you what yesterday's candle was, though, it was a shooting star, right? That couldn't get above the top of the inside day, right? It kind of rejected it, right? So, not surprised to see a little bit of pullback off that one, just based on the candles. On that, yeah. So, and then ANTM, yeah, I mean, it just kind of is what it is, but it's in the context of a bear flag, right? So it's still kind of weighing pretty heavy in there. So good stuff. Mike, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Netflix, any more gas? I think it's possible. I really liked it. I liked it off the bounce, right? We had a decent move yesterday, right? Or sorry, Friday off of the upward trend line, right? Decent volume right there, a little bit of an upper shadow. And then today, got some nice follow through on it, right? Got back over the 8-day. Now, let's see if it can continue to go, right? If the FANG stocks stay strong, maybe Netflix can continue to ride this wave up. But that was a nice follow through from from Friday's bounce. Good stuff. Shirley sending a few by email, so let's take a look at a few of those. So ANET, woo! Look at ANET there, nice little move up there on volume, closed over all those levels. Incredible stuff right there. I believe we are working our way up right here. We got a couple pivot levels right here. So you see I already have those drawn in, right? And I believe there's an open gap up there too, so just be careful with that. So a little bit of resistance levels above, but it continues to be bullish until proven otherwise. Good stuff there. RH, great one. Haven't looked at this one in a while because it just got so sloppy for so long. Gave you a decent candle right here, then it got sloppy again, and then got a little bit of follow through today. Low volume, so just be careful with that. Triple M, we got earnings coming in tomorrow. Gave a little bit of a push here today with some volume. Right, so tomorrow before the open. So let's see if that gives a move. So keep an eye on it, guys. If we get above this level, we might get a gap and go. Of course, if we can get to that gap, you can see a fast move to the upside. If we get below these pivot levels right here, you got some open gaps below. So keep an eye on Triple M. It might be tradable tomorrow. Caterpillar, another down name here, or not a down name, but a strong name right there. So a big industrial name. So we got that going on here. Some geometric lines. This is really kind of tricky right here. I'd like to see still like a breakout above those levels in there. So potential resistance in that area. And then gold has just been crazy. So inside day right here on NEM. Doji day here today. So who knows? Maybe Doji sandwich try to work its way up. Good stuff, Michael. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Redfin. Let's take a look. Yeah, decent candle right there. All-time high, but couldn't close above it. So see if we can try to give another push on that one. LSCC. There's a pretty decent one right there. We'd like to have seen a little more volume on it, but it doesn't mean it didn't get to all-time highs. Bitcoin. Congrats to everybody who hodled that one. So that really got through some major levels right here, right? Kind of a big cup and handle type formation right here. Broke through it, yesterday, and then today got some decent follow through on that one. So that's good on that one. So it's like the other gold, I guess, right? Robo. Let's take a look at that one. So a little bit of exchange traded global concept, yeah. So global ETF, so it gaps around a bunch on that one. So just be careful of that one. But decent candle on that one there today. Overstock, guys, we talk about this one all the time. If you're bored during the day, see what Overstock's up to, right? Because it went from $2 a couple months ago, and it's up to $60, right? And that a lot of that has to do with the Bitcoin move too recently. So just getting more fuel to fire. They're loving it. Lulu working its way up there. Decent candle on that one there. See if it gets if it can push up over that. And then Nikola filled the gap today and came back in. So it was starting to get a little bit too extended to the downside, right? This is dropping vertically. So see how it holds. We're right in that congestion zone right here. See if it breaks down below Friday's lows for a potential short idea. Or we might see some chop coming into earnings on that. Kim, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had an amazing day too. Sedge. Popular one today here. Yeah, great candle on that one. Decent volume right here. Still in the trend box on that. See if we can break above that and where it goes from there. Etsy. Again, nice move on that one too. Good volume. Morningstar reversal. We're liking it on that one. And then BYND. Hanging in there, had some positive news. I think like Yum Brands or one of these companies was going to announce like a using more Beyond Meat type stuff. So got a little bit of a move on that today. I believe it was like really, wasn't it like bearish at the open? Yeah, it was like really, really bearish. Upper shadow right here kind of plushed down, and then it's like, whoa, just kidding, by the dip. So a little bit of lower shadow on that one today. So see if it gets any follow through on that. Good stuff. GOSAP, let's take a look. Yeah, decent move right there. Fresh all-time highs there. Again, this is one of those crazy ones, right? Gaps all over the place. So just see if it can continue to work its way up on that one. Zoom, struggling. Couldn't do a morning star reversal and still below the 80 MA on that one. So just be careful there. GLW. Woo! This thing's been epic. Right, so got a nice move on that one. Big candle there today. Looks like we got earnings coming up here tomorrow morning. So that's tomorrow morning for Corning. So it's coming into a lot of levels right here. So just be careful with that. So it's sort of like a reverse cup and handle. But if it gaps above these levels, could be pretty interesting. So I know it's been on a lot of people's radars recently. So nice consumer staple type one. Good. And then Okta, yeah, software was looking pretty good today, except Okta ended up pulling back a little bit. MDB. That wasn't good either. So holding on to the cloud right there. And then Tesla. So Tesla couldn't quite do a Morningstar reversal on this one. But guys, we talked about the potential Doji sandwich, but ended up being a Doji reversal today. Not a lot of volume, but it doesn't matter. That thing just screamed up. I think the range of the candle day is 135 points on Tesla today. Some of our members did really well today on that. Good stuff. James, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at Square. Yeah, nice little bounce up there today. I like how it got back above the 80 MA. Decent volume on that, so a little bit of a move on that one today, which is pretty good. Kim, yeah, D-Dog fighting off the head and shoulders. Yeah, it is. So horizontal head and shoulders are interesting, right? So sometimes they just, takes a while for them to work their way up. But yeah, it's kind of fighting that one off right now. So see if we can get back above that upper trend line. Samir, what's going on? Oh, I got the grapefruit for sure. Yeah, yeah, my pleasure. SDGR. Yeah, that was a good one. Nice. Yeah, and it ended up still holding the 50-day right there. Tried to get into the gap and came back in that today. Yeah, let's take a look at net. I know, yeah, head and shoulders ever. Here's one on net, too. Here's your head and shoulders on this one, too. So a little bit more of a sideways-ish one right here. So just kind of see how it holds. I like how it got above the 80 MA. I don't like how the volume is decreasing on that move up. So just be careful with that a little bit. And then, yeah, Adobe. Yeah, bit of a head and shoulder. These are kind of smaller time frame head and shoulders ones, but you never know, right? So if we get a big candle that breaks down out of those, could definitely be interesting. Microsoft, A little bit of a tighter head and shoulderish type move right there, but just watch and see how it handles that trend box low. And then SE, I know, severe. You can't look. I can't look. So yeah, Morningstar reversal on SE though. That is one that could not break down off that one. So keep an eye on that one. I would like to have seen a little more volume up, but I like how I got back up above the 80 MA on that. Ankit, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's take a look at CVX. CVX hanging in there, kind of into the cloud, holding on the 80 MA on that one. IBM. Nice bounce out of the cloud, still triangulating in that range right there. DKNG. Ooh, crazy day today on DKNG. This was it right here, guys. This is the only area I really wanted to mess with. 618 retracement off of the upper trend line from the IPO, and it gave a great move up. Now it's just wild and crazy action. Flush, and then up. So you go. This thing is like trading this stock is like betting on sports. I mean, it's like seriously, like are the sports going to play today or are they going to be canceled? Right. So you had that going on there. So that was pretty wild. Goldman Sachs. So a decent bounce out of the cloud there, back up the 50-day sandwich between the 200. JP Morgan with a rough day today, guys. So we were looking at it, right? We thought maybe bull flag form right here. This is yeah, it's got to hold here if it wants to keep going. So Wednesday should be a very, very interesting day for the banks with the Fed reporting. So let's see if they could lead the way. So that should be interesting. And, yeah, OLED, yeah, absolutely. Super duper strong candle. We're going to keep that on the bullish radar going tomorrow for sure. JMOS, what's going on? Good to see it. Yeah, BHC. Woo! Had a little bit of news after hours. It seems to have calmed down a little bit. Yeah, it was a huge candle after hours. Right now it's kind of triangulating tomorrow. So let's see how that goes by the open tomorrow. But definitely something to keep an eye on for tomorrow. SPCE. Yeah, SPCE, we saw the gap up this morning. We were hoping for a little bit more on it, but it's just like blah right now. So it's it might be just forming like a bull flag, in the process of it, that type of thing. So let's see what it can do on that. And AMD. Potential pause down AMD today. Huge upper shadow. They're going to have to step on the gas tomorrow if they want to bring that one up. KTOS, yeah. So earnings coming up, not too far, a couple weeks right here. Nasty engulfing candle right there. Not full bearish engulfing, right? Because we'd like to cover the entire candle right there. But if you ignore the shadows, right, the real body's engulfing that real body right there. So it might come back and kind of test the cloud. So see how that goes on that one. Shopify. Almost a Morningstar reversal type style right there. Still just kind of hanging around, chopping in the trend box. And then Spotify. Yeah, a little bit of a pullback off that, but it's right on the 80 MA, so see how that goes. So good stuff. I know, yeah, severe, exactly. Hey, Alma, how's it going? Sherry, what's going on? NEM. Let's take a look. NEM, inside day with a gap up over it. So let's see, it wasn't a huge day the prior day, but, let's see if we can get a little, pause day move, right? So let's see what that has in store going in tomorrow. I tell you, these names have been strong. It's up after hours, about 70 cents. Shams, what's going on? Amazonius. Let's see what that's doing right here. So Amazon was really tough today, guys. So again, we like the move. We like the fact that it gapped up 50 points. Some of our members actually swung that overnight over the weekend. It was, woo! But yeah, so it was a good move over there. Nice gap up, right? And then kind of pulled back down to the 15-hour below. Chopped around here for a little bit. Got really, really tight and gave you a little bit of a move there, right? Into the end of the day, but tricky move today. Let's see if it turns out to be a pause candle. I would like to have seen more volume on Friday. Chester, what's going on? Beyond, let's take a look. Yeah, so Beyond again under the 80 MA right here. It did have a nice recovery from a sharp down move at the open, right? So we're kind of testing a lot of these levels from prior. It's just sort of messy right now. Here's your macro upper trend line right here. So we're kind of holding that zone right now. So I'd like to see some more volume coming in. This volume is ever since that big breakout candle has just been blah all the way down. We need to see something like that. So earnings coming up pretty soon. That could be interesting. Jimin, what's going on? AMD, let's take a look. Yeah, AMD, we're looking at potential pause day today. MNOV, we need to see if they can push above the today's close and open. Wow, yeah, MNOV, woo! Big move on that one today. That was a fun one intraday. That thing got tight. I love when the 200 moving average really makes like half of a triangle like that. It's like, okay, cool. All right, we got above it. See ya. Gap and go today on MNOV. Very, very nice on that. And Intel. Ooh. Right back down to these levels. It looks like it filled this gap down here again. Yeah, retested the open gap right there. So that's not good on Intel, guys. I'm going to put it on the short radar for tomorrow. Let's see how it holds. If it breaks down below those lows, we could see some more downside action on Intel. Okay, nasty. All right, good stuff. Jay, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Just enjoying the show. Good. Well, I really appreciate that you're here. Good stuff. The Nest, iRobot. Just had earnings and not so good. Right? So, gap down, bad, bad, bad. Upper shadow. Watch it close below Friday's lows. Okay, so just kind of see how it holds those levels right there. A little bit tricky. It's a tricky one with options these days. Alma, yeah, let's take a look. So you got FSLR. I tell you, these solar stocks are still holding up here. Okay, possible bull flag in the works. They were a little bit sketchy at the open, but they bought the dip on those today. Boeing, again, really at this point, not messing with it. Premiums are getting pretty high. I don't like trading that far out of the money to get decent premiums with decent spreads. So I'm just going to let it do its thing, unless there's something amazing that sets up there. But still getting tight here before earnings, and we'll see what they have in store. I just have this hunch that it's going to gap up, but we'll see. Even on bad earnings, they could do it. So definitely keep an eye on that one. The next, yeah, PHM. It was good today. Nice. Well, good job. Yeah, nice breakout over the prior day's high. Right, a little real estate action on that one. Good. I like it. And you got vroom, 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 vroom. Yeah, still hanging in there. Possible little bull flag that it's working on there. NVTA. Yeah, nice move. Filled the gap there today. Volume's a little bit blah on it for a while, but could be interesting there. FMCI. Yeah, nice move on that one there. That's a Morningstar reversal plus some, so got right back into the cloud right there. See if that can get some follow through on that. NCNO. NCNO, inside day, just kind of, yesterday or Friday, just kind of chopping around on that one there. ALB, possible pause today, the downside on that one, and then now. Yeah, not much fun. The software names were, some were good, some were kind of blah. So those are a little bit blah. So you can say, yeah, and then AMAT. Another real estate name. No, I'm sorry, MT I was thinking of. Yeah, AMAT, Applied Materials. Good stuff right there, yeah. Good work into the gap right there. Nice doji reversal, kind of in the likes of Tesla. So good stuff on that one. Tracy, what's going on? Good evening. mRNA, let's take a look. Yeah, so mRNA had a nice gap up. That was one of the only... Biotechs were weak on Friday, but mRNA was one of the only ones that was strong. Right, so you got some really good follow through on that one today. Beautiful gap up today, right? Kind of flushed down a little bit, came back up, gave a little bit of a hammer, in this prior candle over the ADMA. So see if that holds, right? I wouldn't let it get below the ADMA on that one, right? Really, really risky these names. Like one day they got a cure, one day they don't. So, yeah, nice move on the AMARC precious metals too. These things have just been so strong. And then INO. I know. So this is one of the ones on Friday, right? We had this on our bearish radar for today, I believe. As well, and that gave a nice push to the downside too. So it's kind of bouncing off that 20 level, but below these lows here, we might see the 50-day moving average. Right here. So good stuff. Yeah, my pleasure. Bagish, what's going on? Good to see you. D-Dog. Yeah, so D-Dog, hanging in there. All right, bounce on the 50-day. Volume is a little bit blah, but let's see. It might just be kind of gearing up for a big move after earnings, so we definitely want to keep an eye on that after that. Visa. Again, that's getting really tight for earnings as well. MA, same thing, getting really tight here for earnings too. So again, you just gotta be careful. These premiums high and all that stuff. So unless you see something definitive, right? So PayPal's still in the trend box right now. So let's see if we can get out of that. So good SPAC. Yeah, still below the ADMA. Still looks like it's kind of working its way down on that one. JFU. Big volume on this one today, but yeah, couldn't really hold the 8-day on that still, so kind of funny on that one. Then yeah, I hope you have a great trading day tomorrow too. So it's Tuesday, so maybe it'll be terrific Tuesday for everybody. So let's see how that goes going into the rest of the night. See what they have in store for us for tomorrow. CJ, what's going on? Yeah, silver and gold, of course. Yeah, so huge moves there. Big gap up. Guys, this is not the time to chase these ones, right? We talked about it here on the live streams back in March. What a great deal it was at $10. Now, is it easy to trade here and hold with options? No, right? It kind of works the way I got choppy, sideways, cloud. Oh, up again. Choppy, sideways, up again. Whoa. Okay, so at $20, tough to go long right here when we were debating it here, right? So, but definitely still strong. I wouldn't be surprised to see it, even get, some more upside on it too. So I think it is up after hours too. So gold, same thing, right? So again, these guys are acting like fangs here. So it's really kind of interesting, right? As the market moves up, seeing the precious metals go up too, it just shows lack of confidence in the dollar and lack of confidence in the stocks, right? So, if this continues to go up at the market, right? a little bit sketchy, right, to see what happens after after a market flush. So just be careful with that one. The Nasty, my pleasure. Thank you so much. Great charts. I really appreciate it. GOAEP. Yeah, nice red day today, but they did bounce there off of the 50-day in the cloud. So let's see how that holds right there, but it's looking a little bit iffy. And Alma, yeah, my pleasure. I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. CJ, yeah, my pleasure too. Then that's how these things. So, I mean, it's tough to say at this point. Right? I mean, gold literally is at all-time highs. Right? So, I mean, what do we do at all-time highs, right? I mean, basically at this point, right, you go to the GC. I mean, you can go to the monthly start. Stocks realistic valuations? Maybe. We'll see. Who knows? I mean, something crazy would have to happen for it to get realistic. Like even crazier than a global pandemic. Like we're talking about like the Fed runs out of money type crazy, right? That type of stuff. So they do whatever they can to keep this thing propped up. I tell you. Kind of interesting stuff right here. I mean, here's gold on the monthly chart, right? I mean, this thing's just so extended at this point, like it's hard to even tell, right? How far it's going to go. I wouldn't chase it here, right? I mean, it's really expensive for gold, so. But again, if the market flushes, this thing could stay up and continue to go higher. So we'll see. Crazy to think of it in the 2000s. Really wild stuff. Anyway, good stuff. At this point, it's tough to say. I kind of try to just keep the global perspective. Which way are we going? Generally, right? Is the Fed have the back of the market? Yeah, right. And big companies, yeah. I mean, what's the next thing, right? Another housing, issue, right? You got stuff like, a lot of loans, mortgage loans are in forbearance right now. For part of the CARES Act. Right, so there's like millions of people not paying their mortgages, right? And all they're doing is they're tacking it to the back of the mortgage, right? So what happens if the economy does get work and these people don't get jobs, right? But the thing is, they made it 180 days, and then you can extend it another 180 days, right? So for the mortgage market and for the housing market, we won't really know until like a year, right? So sometime in 2021, right? And then if defaults start hitting, is it going to be huge? Right, and there's a crash the housing market, and then it's 2009 all over again. And then at this point, last time, right, they took a while for them to buy those mortgage-backed securities. Will the Fed actually literally step up and buy like the mortgage loans themselves? I mean, you don't know, right, what these guys are going to do. So it makes it really tricky with the amount of manipulation that goes on out there, right? And then plus you've got, it's tough to say. So I just kind of go day by day here. I look at the macro trends and then try to trade in the direction of the trends. So we'll see how it goes. But always interesting to kind of see it, how, what they're up to. So anyway, good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. I hope everybody has a great rest of your night. We'll see you guys again bright and early tomorrow morning on the market prep, and then through the other videos during the day, and hopefully catch you on the live stream again tomorrow night. So if you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube and be sure to hit the notification button so you can see when we do post those videos. If you're joining us just from YouTube, be sure to follow us on Twitter. The link is in the description there. I post charts and ideas throughout the day. I think you guys would like that. And then if you really like it, definitely check out our website to see what kind of services we offer too. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, and stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, Michelle. I'll talk to you guys soon.